We have
it's because they're somewhat sociopathic.
Oh,
awesome! Looks like we got a caller.
Oh, awesome! Very cool.
Hold on, we have another.
Oh, let me get you plugged in.
Oh, here we are.
I'll get you rigged up here. I'll be on one.
Hey, Jerry. I'm getting plugged in right now.
I'll get you rigged up here. There we go. You're on 2, and I'll turn your volume up. Let me know. Get you there.
Yep.
We got everybody.
Can you hear us, Jerry?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, there you are.
How you doing, Jerry?
Going pretty good. About you guys?
Just too early in the morning on our side of the world for me, but apart from that, too late in the day for him, too early in the morning for me, but apart from that, doing pretty well.
Right on. What part of the
having us.
Whereabouts are you on the East Coast, West Coast?
West Coast.
Right on. Liberals treating you okay out there?
I stay away from California at least.
There you go. Good man. Good man.
I've got a couple friends in Pomona, but
right on.
I usually don't like to be there.
So you guys were going rough and tumble. Let's explain to everybody how you guys met and what's going on.
I did the story about Ian Rylett, the 7 awesome kids, 7 super girls network of channels.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'd written a story about this last year when Daniel Tosh covered it. And after Daniel Tosh did that, they shut down one of his channels. And it was like, hooray! No. Guy had multiple channels. And most of them are still up. Alex Jones, not allowed. But creepy rapist, child groomer, well, I don't know. It's good for business. But yeah, so they found me through that article. And because, you know, like I said, there's not a lot of people dealing with this. The hashtag, by the way, for anybody watching, hashtag YouTube Wake Up. You can find out more about this. But yeah. Tell us, Jerry. You know more about this than me. I just kind of signed on pretty much late last week.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that more people are not in depth as to what's been going on, because you have channels like Daddy of 5, which hit multiple news agencies and had the cops take away the kids. You have big YouTubers like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, that has been big for exploitation in regards to the family. All these YouTubers are slowly being exploited, and kids, instead of wanting to look up to what we used to look up to, which was Hollywood stars like Britney Spears and all that, kids are now going to the point where they look up to Logan Paul, they look up to Jake Paul.
They want to be a YouTube star now, yeah. Exactly,
they want to be a YouTube star. So YouTube has a function on there where you don't need a program, you don't need anything. You just click the button and it instantly goes to live. So all you have to do is hit a certain hashtag or something. You instantly can start a live stream and do whatever it is. And these kids are wanting to pretty much be anything to be famous. And these people go in there to exploit them, saying, hey, if you do this for me, I'll give you 25 likes. Hey,
right, they start out being friendly, and then, you know, classic grooming tactics. Hey, you're so pretty, you're so talented.
Exactly.
Let me see your feet. And it just slowly works in like that. And
this is something that is even happening right now as we speak. You know, kids are doing very simple things like truth or dare or gymnastics or anything like that, and it's just, you know, exponentially getting worse with the exploitation within it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have to admit, I mean, terrible thing if it just, you know, when it's going on with kids, that's just terrible. But the model, I don't know, if you were a moral person, well, you'd have to be, you're borderline on this. But if these people are getting paid in likes and they're doing stuff like that, okay. I mean, let's just say, barring, you know, the exploitation of children, I really don't have a problem with that, because that's just kind of like a Darwin will take. That whole thing.
If an adult wants to, who's that guy, Shoe Nice? If an adult wants to eat dog turds and drink bleach for views, that's okay. But yeah, this is a totally different game when we're talking about kids as young as 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And they don't know what's going on at first.
Oh, that's just
terrible.
They're
being slowly groomed into this,
Ugh, that's sick.
And if
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry about that. And if you haven't seen already, YouTube in the past has been hit with certain things like YouTube Kids, which is their app, and basically they got hit with, you can look it up, a major thing called Elsagate, as what most people call it. Basically, it's where kids' content is disguised as something much more perverse. Like, for example, they have
Really
like Elsa Spider-Man and underwear and all that kind of stuff, or like needles, knives, worm coming out their ears, that type of stuff.
I mean, I'm an adult, and I was disturbed by some of these.
Yeah, that stuff was disgusting, to say the least. And kids, especially now with how single parents are, and for how easy it is to just give a kid a tablet and say, hey, here you go, have the tablet. The tablet will take care of the kid for a couple hours. That's how a lot of parents do it nowadays, especially with babysitting.
Yeah, I remember years back, I had a friend and he had kids, and the kid would just sit there and watch YouTube videos for hours, and I'm like looking at the YouTube videos, and it's like adults playing with little kid toys, and I'm like, the one video I saw, and this is years ago, and I'm like, that's kind of creepy. So this guy just like, I know the parents aren't going to sit here and let me make sure. I mean, like, there's millions of these videos, and a parent cannot, vet and check each one.
Yeah.
And it's bad enough to let TV babysit your kids. It's absolutely dangerous to let the internet do it.
Oh yeah.
You've got a pervert on the other end of the screen who can see your kid, who is talking to your kid, who tells you, one of the things from you guys I saw where one of their tactics is they teach the kids how to do live streams and then take them off immediately. Meanwhile, the pervs are saving these videos. Once they get them to do something that they're embarrassed about later, they use that as leverage to make them do more. There was a story a couple years ago where a girl killed herself because, this 12, 13, 14, and, got talked into taking her top off, and then it's all your family and friends will see this video. If you don't, now you've got to...
people killing themselves.
Yeah, one thing that we're slowly discussing right now, and in future things as well, that's also an issue, is you have groups, because the YouTube has not dealt with this problem yet. You have groups that are banding together, that are blackmailing these kids, that are gathering, evidence, as to say, going on to group messages like Kik and all that, and Telegram, and gathering all these types of things, going into DMs of these kids, having them, either dance for them or anything perverse, and then selling that for money.
Yeah, the bit of terminology I got, once again, from the Exposing Exploitation, pedo whales. Like, they save all these videos from all these different channels. That way, once the kid does get embarrassed, realizes what they've done, and they take their video off, you can't delete from the internet. There's a delete button. The delete button, that hides it from you.
Yeah.
You can hide things from yourself. You can't delete.
That's true.
And one thing that they do as well is, if they notice that a lot of people are going into these live streams, they'll tell them to, for example, remake the live stream but with emojis, so that way they would be the only ones to find it. And then they would go in there and then tell them that it's okay, do whatever we say, and then you can delete it afterwards. No one will see the live stream as long as you delete it.
That's a rough one.
I've seen like some of these comments, like, thank goodness on the videos that I've seen, it's just the chat bar. But one, you can hear these little girls, they're like, they can't be 11. And you hear them reading these comments out loud, and you see what's going through the chat bar. And it's sickening. And it makes me really sad, And YouTube doesn't care. Real John Doe in the chat is pointing out, we got these issues that are real: grooming of kids, the Elsagate thing, the disasters that the MSM doesn't cover. But Alex Jones, a literal self-proclaimed character for a satire show, is causing the media to melt down if something doesn't get done against an idea. Like I said, that's priorities. You got trillions of views and millions of hours. That translates to a lot of ad revenue.
Yeah, I mean.
And one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. What's interesting on YouTube's end is they've already got hit with one strike with the YouTube Kids thing. They lost about $150 million in ad revenue because I think Adidas and some other really big ad agencies
Mars was another of them,
yeah. And yeah, they lost all that ad revenue during YouTube Kids, and they said that they're going to hire all of these workers, I think 50,000 moderators, but now we're seeing the other side, which is even worse. And
the trusted flaggers are saying that their hands are tied. I've seen where they're talking to the trusted flagger team, and they're saying, they won't check we're pointing out where it is, and they won't do anything. Our hands are tied. And according to these guys, it's 50,000 to 100,000 at least of these predatory commenters and active groomers. Well, you know what? Pedophiles and meth heads are like cockroaches. Where you see one, there's 100 in hiding.
Oh, yeah.
We only see the ones that are active. I love you guys, by the way. Jaden 2004, Siltob. There are active accounts. Some of these are coming back and coming back and coming back. You can't get rid of them. They just keep coming back. And YouTube just doesn't seem to care. Jeff Goldberg wrote about Periscope and how Periscope was implicated in some of this active real-time grooming. He was writing articles about this for months. I think he did some stuff at The Guardian and things. I noticed, sadly, BuzzFeed and us are like the only U.S. outlets I know that are covering these stories.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
And Jeff Goldberg is talking about what's going on at Periscope. Guess what happens? They cut him off of Periscope. Now, he's the same guy who reported on, before the Twitter bot story, hey, guess what? Half of Twitter's users are bots. And then he got banned from Twitter. Well, that fixes
That's no big surprise.
That's how we'll fix it. Let's kill the messenger and pretend it's not going on.
Yeah, I mean, this just on the bigger sense of it, it goes to show you how disconnected the management culture is at all these media outlets, at the Google and Facebook and a lot of the social media. They're totally disconnected. They're acting as if there's no law. I mean, it's always a challenge. I mean, I've worked in abuse, and it requires the help of people. It requires the help of the people that are hosted, or just a random John Q public that wants to step in and say, hey, listen, here's some content you need to know about.
Well, what's interesting about YouTube's case, for one, all of us within EE has tried to apply for a YouTube flagger, and we all got denied. That's one thing that's extremely odd. And the other thing is YouTube has this algorithm with how they handle the entire website. When you watch something, you get recommended videos. No one necessarily knows how the algorithm works, but we've been playing with the algorithm. We can't say for certain, but it's able to find these videos a lot quicker than it should be. So my question is, if they have this algorithm that's able to find these videos, able to find
these live streams, how come they can't shut it down just as easily?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've already got the mechanism. Yeah, I mean, that's half the problem, is identifying the content, deleting it. And I mean, they should, to be fair, they should have a transparency report. Okay, and
if it was a priority, they would and could do something.
And to be honest, because it's going to be a criminal prosecution and somebody's committing a serious felony on your network, You should have a transparency report to the degree that it isn't totally destroying law enforcement's case of collecting further evidence. So when you get a subpoena, a summons, or a warrant at